What if I told you that manifesting the job of your dreams doesn't require experience, just a shift in how you approach the process? In this video, I'll teach you how to use proven game mechanics to land your dream job step by step. I've studied psychology, Hermetic principles, and the science of success for years, helping myself land roles beyond my experience level at the time, such as NYPD officer, IT coordinator, network security admin level 2, senior IT auditor, and IT assistant audit manager. If you've ever felt stuck, thinking you're unqualified, overlooked, or that there's just too much competition, this is for you. By the end, you'll have a clear, actionable system to bypass those barriers. Stick around because I'll show you how to unlock opportunities others think are out of reach, even if you're starting from scratch. Landing your dream job is just like a hero's journey, as described in Joseph Campbell's book, The Hero of a Thousand Faces. So, Joseph Campbell found that there were universal patterns found in myths and stories across cultures. This is similar to how Carl Jung, the founder of analytical psychology, found universal patterns and symbols across cultures, history, through myths, dreams, art, religions, and that all led to his discovery of the collective unconscious. The philosophical theory known as analytical idealism suggests that the universe is one consciousness that we all arise from. We can think of this one consciousness as the collective unconscious of Carl Jung. This one consciousness split itself into you and me. There's a little you and there's a little me. It's playing a narrative-driven video game that we call life. And just like how every narrative-driven game follows the hero's journey, so does your life. You start in your comfort zone, face challenges, acquire tools, and emerge transformed. The story circle was reduced from 12 steps to 8 by Dan Harmon, so let's use this more simplified version to show you your story elements. The 8 elements are you need, go, search, find, take, return, change. So you're stuck believing you lack the qualifications for your dream job. Need, you want the job, but you also need to become the person who gets hired for it. Go, you decide to leave your comfort zone and learn everything needed to manifest your dream role. Search, you take bold actions to stand out and gain new skills. Find, you secure interviews or opportunities. Take, you face internal resistances like imposter syndrome and external challenges. Return, you land a dream job and you return to a new normal. Change, you become someone confident and capable of achieving big goals. So how do you embark on this journey? Let's break it down using the mechanics of manifesting success. So here are the game mechanics for manifesting your dream job. Mechanic 1, the experience point system and cause and effect, or the go part of the story circle. So you're in the go element of your journey and you have to gain experience points to get there. Experience isn't just about past jobs, it's about how many actions you take towards your goal. Think of every resume you send, connection you make, or skill you learn as earning experience points. The compounding experience points will help you create a reality where you have the dream role that you want. That's because of the Hermetic principle of cause and effect, which states that every cause has an effect. Everything in your reality is an effect, a frozen representation of past thoughts and actions, or causes. To develop a new effect of a new reality for yourself, you need to continue gathering experience points, which will become the cause of your new reality. So here's an action step. Start small. Apply for one stretch job today. Reach out to one person on LinkedIn. Take on a project that will force you to learn the skills needed for your desired role. Every action builds momentum, even if it feels small at first. As you go after your goals, you'll come across various challenges from your antagonists, which is the shadow of your psyche, which is also the past version of yourself. This shadow will do whatever it can to keep you in your comfort zone and prevent you from changing your reality. You'll use internal resistances like procrastination or fear to try and keep you from building your experience points. So when facing a shadow, when your shadow self says, you're not experienced enough, remind yourself that gaining experience points is how you level up. Next, you'll need to adapt and learn how to use power-ups during the search element of your journey. So here we come to mechanic 2, which is power-ups plus correspondence, or the search section of the story circle. So power-ups aren't just tools, they're ways to differentiate yourself. Think certifications, personal branding, personal projects that force you to learn, or learning to tell your story confidently in interviews. That's supposed to be a speech bubble, telling your story. But yeah. This relates to the Hermetic principle of correspondence, which states as within, so without. As above, so below. In other words, what happens in the microcosm is reflected in the macrocosm. Or, as you are within will be reflected in your external reality. That is why one of the most useful power-ups to start with is the alter ego effect, or self-distancing as it's called in psychology. By putting on the identity of the person that already has what you're after, you will be more likely to think the right thoughts and take the necessary actions to actually obtain your goal. So you start with the thoughts, which turn into actions. Let's represent action with a fist. And then that will help you achieve your goal. And that's supposed to be like a goal with the arrow going into it. Action step. Identify one power-up you can acquire this week, whether it's starting a personal project that forces you to learn a new tool or practicing a killer elevator pitch for yourself. And when facing your shadow self, when your shadow says you'll never stand out, you counter with, what would the higher version of me do? Then do that. Mechanic 3, boss battles plus polarity, which is the find section of the story circle. As you try to find what it is you want, you'll come across boss battles. These are the threshold guardians that make sure you are committed to your journey. Just picture one of these guys like a guy with a sword in front of you. They are often external manifestations of your internal shadow, trying everything you can to bring back your old identity. So picture this guy as your shadow, and he's sending these guys out to try and stop you. So these boss battles here, they can be interviews, rejections, competition in the job market, but remember, every challenge holds its opposite, an opportunity to grow. Right? So you have the challenge, and then you have opportunity, but they're both part of the same frequency. So that takes us to Hermetic law of polarity, which states that everything has a polar opposite. So this is one end of the pole, and this is another end of the pole. And every polar opposite is still the same energy, just in different frequencies. Challenges are opportunities based on your perception and the frequency you are tuning into, just as opportunities can be seen as challenges based on the frequency of your observation. So look at all of these boss battles as opportunities for gaining experience points. So here's the boss. Defeat the boss, you get experience points so you can level up. So here's an action step. Prepare for interviews like a boss battle. Research the company, rehearse tough questions, and visualize your success. Each rejection is just another step towards the right opportunity. And when facing the shadow self, when your shadow self says you're not good enough, remind yourself every no is getting you closer to a yes. Which brings us to mechanic 4, tracking progress plus rhythm, which is the take part of the story circle. In the hero's journey, taking what the hero wants also causes them to pay a price. That's because all of life ebbs and flows. Some weeks you'll feel unstoppable, and then others you'll doubt yourself. The key is tracking progress to ride the rhythm correctly. You see, the Hermetic principle of rhythm states that everything in life ebbs and flows, like the tides of the ocean or the changes in seasons. So you have summer, then you have fall, and winter, then spring, then summer, and it continues. You need to learn to ride the wave and not allow, so here's a little surfer guy, not allow the lows to pull you down to your old identity, which is over here. You also need to make sure you don't let the highs prevent you from pushing forward or cause you to crash hard when a low hits, right? So if you're riding the high, you can either crash completely when you have a low, or you'll just be like, oh, I'm going to hang out here on this wave. I'm not going to continue. You need to balance yourself so you transcend the highs and lows, knowing that what you see is only but a small sliver of reality. We don't see all the things behind the scenes. So picture a curtain here, right? This is a curtain. It's supposed to be a curtain. So you're only seeing the curtain. You don't see everything that's all the mechanics going behind the curtain. This is supposed to be a gear. So we don't see all the behind the scenes that may be working out in our favor, such as the new jobs being created or employees moving up into other opportunities to allow space for you to claim that job, etc. So action step here. Track your applications, interviews, and wins. Reflect weekly to celebrate progress and adjust your strategy during setbacks. Balance your rhythm so you are not swept away in the highs or left behind in the lows. Let's just say not swept away. If you get callbacks and are riding a high in the rhythm, continue applying in case things go awry to avoid a crash. If you're not getting any callbacks and are experiencing a low in the rhythm, right? Celebrate that you applied to so many jobs and rethink your strategy to stay motivated and climb back up. When you feel stuck, ask, what small action can I take to keep momentum today? Which brings us to mechanic 5, the reward system plus gender. And when I say gender, I don't mean your actual gender. I'm talking about the divine masculine, divine feminine, which is energies. And this correlates to the return and change part of the story circle. So in the hero's journey, the hero often has to return to the zone of comfort with the reward having changed. So you have your zone of comfort, you leave, you get some kind of reward, you come back having changed. So this is the new you. As you gain your reward, remember that you will have new rhythms to deal with, which is why rewarding yourself along the way is so important. Rewards fuel motivation. It's not just about landing the job, it's about celebrating the milestones along the way. It's also important to consider the Hermetic principle of gender, which is where the masculine energy is the pushing action needed to go towards your dream role, such as taking on personal projects to gain skills, connecting with others in the field, and improving your job application strategy. Meanwhile, the feminine is the pulling action of trusting. So you have the push, and then you also have, so this is pushing energy, and then you have this energy here, which is pulling. So this is the feminine, this is the masculine. So feminine energy is pulling action of trusting in the universe that all your effort will result in your dream role and being ready to receive it once the opportunity is ready. We all have masculine and feminine energy within us. It is only when we merge the two, so you have masculine and you have feminine, it's only when you merge the two here where creation and change can happen. In this case, the creation of your new identity and the change into your new reality where you're working in your dream role. Once you obtain your dream role, you'll have to enter a new zone of comfort, a new normal. And you'll be ready for the next level in your life and career, which will require a new hero's journey. So as you go up the career ladder, you're going to have to create a new version of yourself for the new journey as you go outside the comfort zone into the new area. So quick action step here. Reward yourself for hitting small goals, whether it's completing 10 applications or acing an interview. And when your shadow self whispers you don't deserve success, prove it wrong by celebrating your wins, even the small ones. So imagine this, you've applied the mechanics, you've earned experience points, you've leveled up your skills, conquered interviews, and tracked your progress. You've manifested your dream job, not by luck, but by design, and in the process, you become the person who can manifest even bigger opportunities in the future.
Now it's your turn. What's one action you'll take today to start manifesting your dream job? Share in the comments. I'll try to respond to as many as I can. Ready to keep leveling up? In my next video, I'll show you why your colleagues get promoted and you don't, and how to fix it, which will be here when the video is out, so stay tuned.